Episode 275 of the Too Thick Pod, your home for all things sports, cards, and levity. I am Jeremy, joined as always by my beautiful baby boy, mine and Courtney's pride of Michigan, our son, Manny. How are you, young man?
Good. I'm excited. Tummy sweats and meat sticks on the ones and twos. And today we have a special guest. You've seen him. You've probably seen him. Like Jeremy, we were talking before, Jeremy sleeves him in his sleep. We have Dr. Collectible in the building. Thank you for coming on the show. This is going to be a great one. I'm excited.
Get it, man. I'm excited. I'm glad to be on. Love y'all vibes. That's why I'm here. Let's turn up, man. We're gonna definitely make this a great conversation.
So, Dr. Collectible is the first person that we've reached out to in the hobby that we couldn't even interact with directly. We had to go through his assistant's assistant. We had to send some money. He sent a list of requests. So, like off camera, what you won't see is he has a bowl of nothing but green Skittles. So, me and Manny had to pick through and make sure that he only had the green ones. Manny got an Evian water. Dr. Collectible slapped that shit out of there and said, "Give me my Fiji." Yep. So, we are dealing with true hobby superstar right now, and we are grateful. I know that we have like maybe 10-15 minutes, limited time for little guys like us, but in all seriousness, Dr. Collectible, thanks for joining us. You are everywhere, man. Every time I go on Instagram, there's a new announcement that you're hosting something, you're representing something. I go to bed, it's Dr. Collectible. I wake up, it's Dr. Collectible. And if I'm speaking candidly, at the beginning of this year, I had heard the name, but I really didn't know much of your content. It wasn't until at Culture Collision where you, Courtney, maybe Tim went out for dinner, and Courtney's like, "This guy's going to blow up. You need to know everything about him." And, she's not wrong very often. She sure as hell wasn't wrong that time, man. So congratulations, all the success. What's going on, man? Like, where did this all come from? Where was I sleeping under a rock? Like, let the people who don't know who's Dr. Collectible is and what he's about.
I am the entertainment of the hobby. I am the outlet of what you get when you're trying to get that totally different experience at a trade show. I am everything that you're going to get from the hobby that you're not going to get anywhere else. And that's what I stand on. That has been my principle for 2023, is giving my audience something about the hobby that they're not getting anywhere else.
I love that. And I see that, like Jeremy said, you're everywhere. First I saw you at Card Shop Live. I didn't know if you want to kind of elaborate what you do for them, Mike, Gio, and Jesse.
Mm-hmm. So I love their platform. First off, so like I said, I have my own show on there called On Deck. And basically, I talk about the different hobby cards different hobby boxes that are coming out every week that the breakers are actually selling on the app. They're breaking these boxes every week. So I love what I do. They was really one of the first ones to give me my real opportunity to be able to showcase my talent on a professional platform. Mm-hmm. Instagram or Facebook and things like that. Yes, they are platforms, but I'm talking about partnering with another company at that type of magnitude. So for me, it's been a joy. It's been a great ride. We was at Mint, had got a few merch and things of that nature, like hats, bags. So like I said, I love what they do. I feel like they're an up-and-coming program, and I'm excited what they got for the future.
Yeah, I do appreciate it because I seen their platform when they first started and went on it, and it is a nice platform, right? And then I look and I'm like, man, Dr. Collectible was involved in this too. So I had to check out. I love that you give information on like what the breakers are breaking, because a lot of people don't know this. Like they go in and they're just throwing money left and right at some break because it's just a baseball. And we know in the hobby, say it's a basketball product, they're just throwing the money left and right, and it's hoops, and they're expecting a flawless type product. And you giving that information helps a lot. So I do appreciate that because it helps the newer people in the hobby.
No, man, thank you. That's why I try to do. Try to put the right information out there to the audience. That's the big thing about me is what I try to get to the audience. I want people to be able to trust me. I want to be able to people to trust the content, what I'm putting out there. This is just not fragments or just fake and phony. This is exactly me and who I am. So
Mhm.
I try to get.
So, Manny, I'm going to bring this full circle. If we went back to some of the original episodes of the Too Thick Pod, we talked about looking for opportunities in breaking where you can take advantage of a breaker who has no idea what the hell they're doing. They're not informed on the product. They don't understand the checklist. And you could look for opportunities where, hey, this team break or this random division break makes sense, and this is why. Now, Manny gravitates towards having fun, laughing, and he doesn't consume information the way that I do. I love like the boring analytical stuff, looking at numbers, systems, and processes. I think part of the reason Dr. Collectible is having the success that he's having is because, unbeknownst to me and unbeknownst to you, he's putting it together in one nice package where you're being informed, but you're doing it in a fun, modern way, not some boring ass way of some old dude just talking at you and spitting out information. And so I would imagine, right, Manny? We talked about this a lot. And if you think about it, like the way he delivers his information is hip, it's cool, it's modern, and it makes it easy. Unbeknownst to you, you're getting schooled and you think you're just having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Bingo.
He's brainwashing the hobby there. Dr. Collectible is brainwashing us because we think we're getting entertained, but we're really learning. I love it.
Hey, it's probably whipping up the sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce. You're trying to get people to stick. Once again, what makes them push that follow button on you? What's gonna make you stand out from the first time they go on your page and they see your content? I think that's a major key with me. One thing I'm gonna say about me, everything is calculated. Anything you see on my page, is posted for a reason. It's calculated for a reason. I don't post just to post, just to be posting anything to get some likes or things of that nature. I try to squeeze everything out of a post, whether if it's the tags, the hashtags, what I'm talking about, what I'm posting, the hour of the day, the time frame from West Coast to East Coast. Like I'm thinking about all that at one time because it counts. Every post count. A post can make you a break. Ask Beckett.
Mm-hmm.
Ask
Oh yeah. Hey, they what would you say? They fumbled, but they were able to pick it back up, right? They're like, yeah, we're backing off because they listened. I guess that's a good thing, but they did fumble it a little bit.
Yeah, they fumbled the ball. I felt like I was talking to someone else about this. I felt like they should have stand on their 10 toes. What they should have did was like the same way PSA came out and talked about these and crazy numbers of grading, and they stood on that, and people had to just suck it up and deal with it, or wait until prices go down. They should have stood on the grading process, man. They should have not stepped back. Hobby decided to go at them.
Did you?
They now have a reputation as a company that's like spineless, right? Because most people feel like you can just talk down to Beckett, talk back to them, they're gonna fold. And that kind of makes you question, like, what are you doing at the top, man? Like if we make a decision to go with it, we roll with it and we stand behind it because it was thought out. Like you said, Doc, it was calculated. And in the hobby, I often believe people in the hobby are only happy if they're angry. Like they wake up and they're like, what can I be mad about today? What dumb thing can I get worked up about? Instead of just like enjoying it. Like evolution and change is part of it. I'm not saying I necessarily agreed with the Beckett thing, but at some point, you as an organization, you have to stand up. This decision we made, and the hobby will adapt. They'll
Yeah.
overcome, just like you said.
No, I agree. Like you're gonna have to adapt. When it's almost like when I say, if you, for example, I try to stay away from this, but like if I post something and I start seeing like negative comments, or it just didn't go that way, don't delete it. At that point, like I know people take screenshots. People like, it's deep. Like social, the internet is deep, y'all. And there's ways of people like, they'll try to slander you or put you down. So for me, like I said, if you stand on your 10 toe, you stand on what you about. People have to do nothing but respect it. Wow, people will try you. So yeah, that spineless type of vibe. Yeah, I hate to say, but that's what I got from Becky. And it happened again. It happened like another time where they came out with the new display of their of the grades or whatnot, and then people like it and they say, "Oh no, that was just fake. We weren't supposed to put that out. It was just some marketing." Like that don't make no sense. It didn't make. Oh yeah, that's where I'm at with.
Do you think they do it on purpose for the comments and all that?
I don't. Okay, it's almost like every major event, Beckett is like the laughing stock, and it's crazy to me. Um, are they doing it on purpose? It's like listening to Soldier Boy, right? And I like Soldier Boy. I like Soldier Boy, but it's like I don't take him serious anymore. Like, bro, how many more gimmicks are we gonna get? You was the first to do everything. Like, come on, let's be serious. So, for me, I love Beckett. I love what they do for the hobby. I love just the aesthetics of how the whole thing, just with the grading scale, and I like it. I do like it. I like the fact that you're able to see what you got on the corners or centering. Getting that black 10, was it BGS 10? The black, that's
Mm-hmm.
like the hobby. That's like a PSA 10, and
Yeah.
people make Beckett, but I mean, they are respectable, but for some reason, putting themselves in the laughing, it's crazy.
What I think they should do, maybe Jeremy and you could kind of comment and see if this is a good idea. Instead of doing like all these separate subgrades to get to 10, why don't they just do like on their card? I got one out and I got 9 5s and a 9. So technically, this is a gem min, is what they call it. And
Hmm.
instead of putting gem mint on the label, just put gem min and keep it a 9 5. And then there's true gem mint and then a gem mint plus if it has a 10. Because in the hobby, the old school dealers will pay for a min less than what they'll pay for a gem mint plus. So maybe they break the 9 5s up into 3 separate categories, which we already have in the hobby. That's what people call them.
Yeah.
And then you could kind of see it, the price difference, because every 9 5 of BGS is not the same. Jeremy, you could attest to this, but gem mins are not true gem min pluses or true gems. So I think that they should have done that and just put it on the slab.
Yeah, I think that would have been an easier adjustment. But I'm right there with Doc, man. I like Beckett. For the life of me, I can't understand why anybody wants them to fail. If
Yeah.
there's no competition for PSA, all that means is we, the consumer, are the ones that get shafted. I would love there to be three, four, five, six grading companies that were all badass, all pushing each other, getting our cards back quicker, bringing that price point down, better customer service. But for some reason, there's maybe it's the vocal minority of people that are just happy when businesses fail. And I'm like, man, I'm the consumer. It's my hard-earned dollars. I want the best service possible at every aspect, and I still think that's what's needed in this space for it to continue to grow and 10x if that's truly what's going to happen based on all things that Fanatics was talking about. And we recorded last night. We did a live and we recapped mine, Courtney's, and Manny's experience at the Mint. Fresh
Hmm.
off the Mint, talk to us about your experience, what you got accomplished, what you liked, what you didn't like, and let's have a little discussion there.
Um, First thing, my mindset for Mint was to my main mindset was to be able to give my art an outlet to be able to see the mint in a different aspect compared to where you would see it anywhere else. I applied to become media for the mint. I actually applied in January. They reached out to me maybe like 2.5 weeks before the event. So now I'm like, oh wow, okay. I can have access to different things like the public didn't have been wasn't able to have an eye on, and being able to talk about this publicly, um, that's my thing. I was like, okay, and that's what I applied for back in like January. So for me, my main mindset was to come to Mint, was to do media, um, come out there and give my audience a gateway to see the Mint without having to be there. Everyone can't make it. So for me, that's why I wanted to get my audience. But I also I got a blessing of being able to network. This was more of a networking event than anything.
Mm-hmm.
It was to be able to get around NBA Top Shop. It was able to be around NFL all day, which is they represent digital collectibles. It was able to get in front of Panini. I was able to get in front of Tops, learn about the new Monopoly game that's coming out intertwined with Prism. I was able to be in front of different podcasts and and be in the same room of them going live. Like you're getting the complete package, and that's why I wanted my audience to get. Um, but networking was another big thing, as you can see. The national event, that situation happened there with Ray, believe the commission director for the national. We had a great conversation. First met with him, talking with Leaf. So it was cool. Like, yo, I got around Leaf trading cards. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool to me. To be in that atmosphere, you don't get that every day. So that's the other thing that I got from it was be able to network. My like or dislikes, I'm gonna go straight with dislikes because I feel like I explained everything that I kind of like. So dislikes, I didn't understand the event at first. I really thought it was gonna be trade show, card show type of vibe. It wasn't that. This was all about networking. I literally was around Bleecker Trading and Arena Club all at the same time, kicking it at an
Mm-hmm.
event at the party. Like you're not gonna get that, So
Yeah.
uh, that's what I like. Like it was not too many dislikes. The only dislike was that it was my first time and I didn't understand the event as I thought it was going to be. This is a very big networking session, and that's how I didn't look at it. But then I learned that by the end of the show.
And you kill it at the show. Like I do want to give you props because Jeremy and I, we both struggle with this type of content. Jeremy, you know I do. Like doing short videos like you do for like your TikTok and all that, just ask like a one question interview. I love that because it gives the person that you're interviewing a chance to like, promote his product, but then it gives you, content for your page and for your viewers. So I do commend you for that because you're like one of the best. I see you going down an aisle talking to someone, doing a quick content, then getting to the next person. You asked me to do an interview, like a quick 5 minute interview for you just signed with the National, right?
Yeah,
So you asked me to do that, and then you turned and I introduced you to a guy that I used to work with, Will NBT, and you asked him. Like it was great. Like you kill it on the content game. I envy you. I could be a lot better because I do get crap from my co-hosts about not doing content because I'm so focused in on just talking as a person like me to you and connecting at that level that I don't think about I should just record this. You know what I mean? So I,
yeah.
I do you do kill it on that aspect.
No, I appreciate it. Everything that you see is raw.
Yep.
Rehearse. I don't. I want. I think that's what's working for me in that is it's natural. I come to them. I ask them, hey, would you like to do an interview? I would love to showcase what you have going on. First, and then the thing is this. once again, every post is a method to the madness. These folks that I am interviewing, I have dealt with them before. I follow them. I
Mm-hmm.
their work in the hobby, their PC, what they do. So I shine light on individuals. So and even to the new people that I definitely come across as well. But majority of the time is really people that I do follow, that I do connect with. And I try to make it natural every time. It's nothing scripted. I feel like people respect it because it's raw emotion. I mean, hell, I have one interview I did, the guy cursed or whatnot, but it wasn't in a bad way, but when I put it out there, it was a great conversation. But it was like, yeah, it was raw. It was authentic, and people love to receive that.
Mm-hmm. And we kind of do that, Jeremy and I. We're more we say that we're not we're family friendly, but we get riled up sometimes and some cuss words come out. But like you said, it's authentic. So yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
no, I mean, we've all been in like, there's a professional setting where you conduct yourself a certain way, and then we've all been like the after hours, after work, where you let loose a little bit, and obviously, I would never encourage children by any means to listen to this. I am a parent, and so I'm very mindful of what my kids consume. So, I will give you all the credit too, because to do what you're doing takes a very special skill set. I think Courtney does an incredible job capturing content when she's out and about. Like sometimes I'm like that's nobody's gonna like that, or what the hell are you doing? That's a waste of time. And then it's like a few hundred likes, a bunch, 10,000 shares, however that works, and it's like wow, that really worked. But one thing she did confide in me, because she would give me and Manny a bunch of stuff for not getting content when we were out at shows, was when she went to Burbank and she went there to buy, she got wrapped up in the dealer negotiations, going from spot to spot, focused on buying. And she's like, I there's no way I could do content while doing this. She's like, it's a different mindset. It's a different way that you operate. And so for you to be able to go and get that, I want to acknowledge that takes, I'm a person, like, if you told me that like I can't do something, I'm wired to figure out a way to show you that I can do it. Doing what you do is something that I can't do, and it pains me to admit that I can't do something, and I know it takes a special skill set. So, one thing I wanted to touch on though before we move past it was the confusion of the show.
mm-hmm,
That is something that's relatively similar to what we discussed yesterday. Was there was a lot of confusion. I had for like the first 2.5 days, I
mm-hmm,
had access everywhere. I was able to go wherever I wanted, whenever I wanted, until Sunday at 4 o'clock or 6 o'clock when the show ended. Mrs. Squirts and her husband were loading up, and I was just trying to help them clean up and get out. And at that point, I was denied access. And so that was the common theme throughout, was a lot of the people that were there weren't entirely sure, or weren't well prepared for what the actual event was, what the panels, maybe didn't understand networking, because these are just some of these people are just average, go to a show, buy, sell, trade cardboard, that's it. They didn't understand like the business side of it in some of the panels. So I do think that the people who put on the mint are aware of this, and they're going to, do a better job of explaining what the event is and what its purpose is. So I
mm-hmm.
think that's a pretty consistent and fair criticism, is just the confusion of exactly what it was and what to expect.
I agree. I hate to say it. Y'all might laugh at this. This is crazy. I got there Thursday night at 12, right? Um, Going in Thursday into Friday. I was there at 8 in the morning. I was planning on seeing. I don't think the panel started till like 10 o'clock that morning. The
Yep.
first see is Andrew from Luca Tiger LeBron, and like, dude, you're here at 8 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to get it in. The event starts early. I find out that Friday is like they supposed to have like it was like an access thing on Friday late that night from like 7 to 10 for certain individuals
Mm-hmm.
at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they wasn't even gonna let me in. I was like, yo, I'm media, I got credentials. They took me to the front. They was like, yeah, he can go in. I look up and they're still building stuff. Like, I'm like, whoa. So you know what? I took the opportunity to go live. I took the opportunity to show my audience what this place was going to possibly be. And having that type of access, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna say I turned shit into sugar.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt. I turned shit into sugar. I created content while I was there when there was nothing there. You know, so for me, that was my confusing part, was understanding how things would go. I really thought it started on a Thursday, but it was only a 2 day, Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. It was a 2 day marketplace, and then it was like mostly businesses for the first 2 days, right? Kind of, I would say
Well,
more of a business aspect, Thursday, Friday.
so when you walk through the Grand and then you go down the escalators, the stairs, you make that hard right, then you make you go make that long trek down the hallway.
Whew.
Wednesday, I don't know if it was Wednesday afternoon or Thursday morning, we went over to get our credentials. None of the posters were up, like the stickies that went onto the windows. None of those were up. And so we were taking bets like, is this thing going to be done by showtime? And the only reason I say that to piggyback off what you're saying is I helped close 20 minutes after the show had closed. Every single thing was removed from the window. The hallway was completely cleared out. You would have had no idea that there was an event. The way they were ripping stuff down and destroying it and breaking it was insane because it seemed like it took them forever to get it set up.
Yeah. That's how I felt when I was like there early. I'm like, okay, they putting this stuff up, but then like you say, that Sunday, they, they was. I mean, you would have thought they was at a barbecue, some neck bar like that. They cleared it, man. Like
It did. Oh,
on the bone, bro.
dude, they don't play around. It's Vegas. They probably had something else that night to do in that convention center.
I would be surprised, man. A lot of gambling was going on. I didn't gamble myself personally. I just didn't want to spend unnecessary money.
Yeah.
I love roulette though. So yeah, I would have probably gone with if I was there for that a little bit, like more of a vacation wise. But yeah, back to what you were saying, piggyback on that. Yeah, took them a while to like get it together, but it took them no time to like shut it down for sure.
Oh yeah, right when Thicc hit, one of the Saturday, they're like, everyone out, get out, get your stuff and leave. I do have more of a content type question too. Do you ever get like, for me, for example, I get in my head, I'm like, man, I don't want to like go live and have everyone look at me or like pull out my phone and like be like this type of person because in the hobby that you get made fun of like with the people recording and stuff like that. So I always catch myself in my feels before I go live. And I think that pushes like a brick wall in front of me to create content. Cause Jeremy knows so Sunday I was actually going to try to do something. And I was in my feels again. I was like, man, I'm going to be made fun of and stuff. So I didn't end up doing it. But how do you break that wall? And you know what I'm talking. I feel like you know what I'm talking about because once you break it, then there's no like looking back. But I just need to break it.
It's almost like what's that movie called Limitless? When he takes the pill and all of a sudden everything becomes open to him.
Yeah.
For me, I get what you're saying. I'm gonna try to explain it to the audience. What you are saying is that, and for me, I had that problem too. My best situations have came from not thinking and just doing.
Mm-hmm.
I will think about a dope idea. All of a sudden, I would start being repetitive, start thinking too much. All of a sudden, the blockage come. I start thinking of who may think of this about it, who may think of that.
Yep.
You know, when your idea starts to die down,
That's yeah.
imagination starts to become realistic after a while. You like, should I post this? Like I'm sitting on reels now where I'm like, I wish I just would have posted that a long time ago. So for me, my point, and it's also when I deal with people in public, I just go. Sometimes I do be nervous because I don't know how somebody's gonna react on camera.
Exactly.
I really don't. There's people get clowned. There's you know what I'm saying. I've seen a whole bunch of videos when they talk about influencers and stuff like that. So I get it. I just go and do. I just try to go and do it because if I sit back and think about it, all of a sudden that block wall comes down and that idea never gets pushed. It never gets accomplished because of the thought process of what you're talking about. So yeah, I have overcame that now. Culture was the start for me where I said, hey, okay. I, I was so butterfly sometimes, man. Yo, I know I'm so serious. Like, you probably get that sick feeling or something where you feel like, damn, man, I feel like I'm finna throw up.
Yep.
Yeah, just get past that. Just, the more you start doing it, the more natural you're gonna start to feel. To the point you're not just gonna think about it, but you have to make that first hurdle, which is doing it and not caring what the reaction is going to be right after it. If
Okay.
you suck it up, all right, it's an L. I'm gonna take the next.
I'm good at taking L's. We've talked about it on the show, so I don't know why I'm so scared. But Jeremy, I don't know if you have that same because same.
I never 3 years ago, I didn't want to do anything. And when we agreed to do something, I would be like, this isn't perfect. This isn't perfect. Like even just sharing cards, because I'd go on my Instagram, everybody has some crazy one of one or a five-figure card or a six-figure card. And I'd be like, man, I just want to show off my, my $100 card, which at the time was a big deal. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to share it. What if people make fun of me? This is only out of 99. This guy's got one out of 25. And then, like Doc said, at some point you just learn to just do it. It's like if you have to make a bad phone call, the longer you think about it and dwell on it, the worse it's going to be instead of just taking action. And so, as long as you're coming from a place of like sincerity and authenticity and you're not being an asshole,
Yeah.
you're good. You're good. And then, like, because I have the ability, at least for me personally, that if I do something stupid, I've got no problem poking fun at myself and just being like, well, I'm an idiot. What did you expect? And I surround myself with people who know who I am and understand what I'm about. So even if it is a little off brand, I get the benefit of the doubt. And I think we're also mindful. There's a lot of keyboard warriors and a lot of internet tough guys. And so you learn to just kind of brush those off and move on about your business.
For sure. I also have to think about it as I'm letting my big brother Jeremy down if I don't do this content. So maybe if I think of it that way, I'll be getting out content left and right.
You can't. I would have to be up for you to let me down. I'm already down, man. So don't worry about that. Like, notice today, Manny, you were supposed to do the anchor. I don't even bother reaching out anymore. I just did it.
No. I was waiting for the thing. Do you see this?
I know, but you see, I didn't even reach out because I knew you'd have some excuse that.
No, there's no.
You know what I mean? I didn't even reach out, man.
This is bullshit.
Didn't even reach out. Hey, man, I'm just trying to take more off your plate so you can relax and be the fun-loving guy that you like to be. You're the superstar. You just come in, you do the interview, and then you go about your day. We got you, man.
Hey, say he Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying?
He's Tito.
Had to put in the application to get up with him.
Yeah.
No, I never want to be like that. But okay, I do want to get because we kind of briefly talked about it. The national. Mm-hmm. What are you doing for the national? What can we expect? Because you're going to be in Chicago. We're going to be in Chicago, so I'm excited to see what plans do you have.
So let me real quick. I want to just interject. I was talking with Doc through his assistant before we jumped on here,
Yeah.
Manny. This is breaking news. The one thing that Doc has already gotten accomplished is in the next 5 years, the National will not be in Atlantic City. We never have to go back to that hellhole. Chicago and Cleveland. Doc made it happen. He said the only way you get Doc is if we don't go back to AC.
Let's go.
And they're like, hey, you know what? And he said, I want an extra zero at the end of that check. Ba-ba! Got it done.
Hey, hey, listen, if it was up to me, hey, National would be in Atlanta, baby. You know what I'm saying?
There we go. There we go.
You know, bring it to Atlanta, you know, a party state, you know, a party city, if I should say. Um, but no, back to what you were saying, though, Manny. With National, I plan, and this is something that I feel like, you know, Ray seen in me. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
Commission director for the National. Once again, we was able to chop it up. He's been watching me for a while now, and what I plan on doing is what I plan on doing, but taking it to another level when it comes to National. I want I want people to be able to take the National for what it is. This is so-called the biggest show in the country. This is my first time going. I plan on covering everything on and off site before the event, during the event, and after. You know, these was Ray words on social media. This is what we talked about and things of that nature. Being an ambassador as well, but also having this partnership with the Nationals is something amazing. First off, for me, something I'm getting off my checklist. But I plan on giving everyone an experience. Um, what you see from me and my channel and my social media is what I'm going to give the Nationals, but also I'm going to take it up a notch. I'm gonna be able to have access to be able to talk with individuals that you know you usually don't see or don't talk to, or don't even being able to have access to just in public in general. You know, I want to be able to give you the insight run. I'm not just going to give you cards. We're going to have interviews. I'm going to show kids. I'm going to give you everything. You're going to feel like you've been there.
Mm-hmm.
Time you're done watching that content, and that's what I want from people. I feel like that's why you know Ray trusts in me to be able to you know put myself in this position and do the job right. But like I say, I'm gonna make sure that my audience get an experience that they won't get anywhere else completely. And that's what I try to stand on my own brand. So I know my brand is on the line, and as well as the National. So people like you know the podcasters, the vendors, everyone. I'm meeting with everyone. I'm rubbing shoulders and shaking hands. You know what I'm saying? Kissing babies. You know what I'm saying?
Signing autographs.
That's the term. And signing autographs. You know, whole term. You know. So you know that's what you hear in politics. So,
Yeah.
so I'm out there, man. I am doing everything I can to make sure that the people at home that can't make it to the National is able to enjoy it through a channel and feel like they are there to the point the next time it comes up, they want to get out of their household and enjoy the National themselves. That's what I'm trying.
Manny, I got a question for you.
Oh shoot.
One thing that Doc said that I think is going to make how he covers this national wildly successful is the fact that he said, I'm going to cover everything that's on site and off site. Some of the best moments at national, whether it's staying at the Lowe's Hotel till 5 o'clock in the morning for a trade night with people everywhere, whether it's in the Borgata ripping wax, whether it's with Cousins Collectibles having drinks with Mrs. Squirts, whether it's going out to restaurants, whether it's hell, a few years ago, Courtney and I left the National to drive up to Wisconsin to buy one of the biggest lots we've ever bought in our lifetime.
Wow.
Is a national memory. And I don't think people truly understand what the whole experience is like because the card show is incredible. The
Mm-hmm.
relationships are incredible, but there's so much that goes on before the show, during the show, and after the show that's off campus that I don't think it's been properly captured yet, or there's still room for improvement. And if somebody has captured it all, my apologies. I wish I'd seen it. But Manny, my question is, do you agree with my assessment or am I off base here?
No, you are, because there's so much stuff that I think the best part of the National is after the show. Like, I love the show, right? There's so much stuff going on, so much content. But after the show, you get like the dealers kind of like loosen up. You get the trades. You get all these type of things that people don't see. You better be careful because Dr. Collectible might end up in your hotel room, Jeremy, while you're showering because he's trying to cover everything. Oh, you better be careful. You're going to be showering. Dr. Cloud's going to be like, how's the National for you, Jeremy?
Oh, hey, did you want to talk to me or Court? Court, it's for you.
I'm going live at 3 a.m.
You better. I better see you at 5 a.m. at trade night. At 5. I'm gonna be like, "Where's Doc?" You better be recording somewhere.
I'm there, man.
There you go.
Listen, trade nights, events, anything that's going on outside that has anything to do with the National to the show. I'm definitely planning on being there. They're giving me that type of access to display something great this year, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I'm looking at this. It's like my Grammy, you know.
Yep.
Every host, from Chris Rock to like so many other individuals, and I look at this. It's like, this is gonna be my masterpiece. This is what I want them to talk about when 5 years come down the line. They talk about, man, but that National in 2023, man, you remember?
Yep.
I want timeless. I want to make this a timeless event. I want people to be emotionally involved as well as showing the hard work, showing everything about why this hobby is great and why the National is like one of the biggest events.
Oh,
man, that's a mic drop exit if I ever saw one.
There he is. There he is. He's back.
Mic exit.
Yeah.
Imagine if he just left.
This is my Grammy, bitch.
I was about to say, he said he wanted to be Chris Rock. I said, who's going to Will Smith him? So it's 5 years. Everyone's going to remember he got slapped at the National. I said, if you just want that content, just follow Jeremy and I. He ends up slapping me like twice a day. So he's like, wait, you sold my card for how much? So if you want that, or rolling with FD and Jeremy are about to suplex me. So there's that. If you want some content, I'm avoiding them at all costs.
Oh man, that's funny, y'all. Yeah, my bad. I should put my phone on do not disturb.
That's fine. That's fine. I want to get Jeremy. I know. I want to get into a little bit more about Dr. Collectible because everyone asked him about the hobby and all that, and we talked about this. Did you know that this guy was famous before the hobby? Did you know this guy was on tour dancing back in the day? Crank that Soldier Boy, crank that Batman. Did you know this, Jeremy? He was famous on YouTube.
I did know this because you told me, but before that, I did not know. So school me. Well, it's clear. It's clear. I know the answer the way you're leading the question, my friend.
No, you're supposed to say no, and then Dr. Collectible comes in and says, "No, I was." And so, Dr. Collectible, explain your prior life. I don't know if you're still doing it or not, but your prior life of, we should say, jerking.
Yeah, man. I danced a lot. That's what I grew up doing. A lot of people don't know. Like, I've been performing a lot in my lifetime. I also act as well. I've been on different TV shows, movies. My first real movie was Barbershop 3. I was just only in there getting my hair washed. Um,
By Eve?
hmm,
By Eve?
Eve, no, no. Actually, it was
She was my
Nicki Minaj. It was Barbershop 3.
Oh, three. Okay. Eve was
Mm-hmm.
my childhood crush. So
Oh yeah, man. Eve. Oh, Sarah said, man, she's what she looks like on TV.
oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, man. Like I've been doing that, acting, all them things. Majority of my life, I never shared it really. With on being Dr. Collectible, I had to rebrand myself. So you might find out little things about me as far as like starting to dab and just like I say, look up the group I was in was called Fantastic. Uh, but not that was the dance group I was in, Fantastic. That started all the ground roots and that's probably why y'all see me very comfortable on camera. Um, a lot of my characteristics that I have outside of sports cars, that's what I bring to my content. Um, so for that, you see the hobby step that me and PSA Poppy do. And yes, everybody doesn't agree with dancing in the hobby. I hear it sometimes, they're dancing, what they doing. But I mean, there's kids in the hobby, there's youth. A lot of the kids that doing the hobby step is doing it because I was doing it with them at the show. You'll see some of that footage out there. That's what I put out there. I love to interact with the kids. I love to show youth. They are the future of the hobby. And once again, just relating back to what I do, that's what I try to blend in the sports world. I'm slowly and carefully doing it. But yeah, that's why I try to put myself as a professional. That's probably why you see me comfortable on camera and comfortable around people because I have been in them settings. Yes.
Jeremy, we gotta do a dance with Dr. Collectible at National. He wants to make
I'm down. But I'm more the more important question is I got to turn on Barbershop 3 and look for him getting his hair washed because my man, I thought me and him had the same haircut, and then I saw him in person, and my man's got a head of hair. His hair is taller than me, man. That is some serious. Look at that. Look at it all. Beautiful.
This hair is like it's yeah it's long, man. It's head full of hair, man, and it's all real. A lot of people definitely ask about that. They be like, "Hey, man, is your hair is that real?" Because nowadays you can cut your hair and replant it back in your head, and it's so much stuff that you can do now. So yeah, everything that you do see with the hair, it's all mine for sure. It's been a long time, man. A
So,
long.
so where does what is the, and I don't know if it's just old people because I catch myself doing it with my kids sometimes where everything is like Snapchat and I find myself sometimes quickly going like being dismissive of it because it's different than what I was used to or the way I came up as a kid. And I'm like, am I just being old or is it in fact stupid? Is that the same thing with like the dancing or what some of these kids do? Because if kids want to dance, my youngest girls, anytime music comes on, it's like they can't control themselves. They spaz out. They have to get up from what they're doing. They could be having Cheerios. Music comes on in the morning, and all of a sudden they get up and just like start dancing like they're possessed. So is it just old people like bringing down the kids, or why is dancing a bad thing?
I don't know. I don't know why it gets a bad rap. I'm gonna say this. I like what C Blaz do. Is not my type of vibes where you and all that. But it's entertainment. There are kids that's watching that does them type of dances. Like I say embrace what we don't understand too. I'm going to be that guy. Hopefully 20 or 30 years from now where I'm in the hobby and I'm trying to understand what these are doing with cards now. Um, but once again, I'm accepted to that. I accept that, and I accept the future, and that's where I think where we go back to where we talking about creating content. Just create what's you. If I mean you're gonna build an audience that's like exactly what you like, the haters gonna come. People are gonna come say things and things that they just have to ignore. But um, I think with the hobby, the older crowd is starting to embrace the youth. I think they're starting to understand where this hobby is moving, where it's going. It's not just about collecting, but it's also about the breakers now. It's also about the young collectors. You see these kids with cases, $10,000 to $20,000 worth of cards because they started off from a $5 trade. Like that's a beautiful story to have, man. These kids are on the come up, and I'm gonna keep it youth. That's the one thing I'm gonna try to do on my channel and everything is keep it youth wise because, like I said, I know kids are watching. Them kids are gonna get older. Like you want to set an example for the kids, but also you want to learn from them as well because they can teach you something. I've learned a lot from them. That's why I'm doing a kids trade night with Kaboom ATL. It's something that I'm proud of doing. This is one of the first trade nights that I'm able to fully control. Um, I'm putting my foot behind it, and I'm hoping the kids decide to show out. And shout out to Sports Card Investor, Jeff Wilson. They will be coming out as well, supporting the event. Kids are the future of the hobby, and this is my first time doing something for the kids. And this is my way of giving back. Um, this is taking off my time a day of what I have off my schedule. This is something that I wanted to do from the bottom of my heart and do something for the hobby and for the kids. So the youth is everything, and it's what you put in is what you get back. That's how I look at it.
That's good. I like that. So, Jeremy, if a kid comes up to you and say, "Let's do the stanky leg," I need to see you doing the stanky leg for the kids. All right.
I'm not scared.
There you go. You hear that? You heard this. He's dancing at national.
Hey,
not an issue, man. You have no idea. Just because I have to conduct myself sometimes in a somewhat professional manner doesn't mean I can't get down.
So he dances too, Dr. Collectible too. He dances because every time I play this artist called Stitches, the guy goes crazy. He goes nuts. I've never seen him go nuts before, except that.
That I wouldn't call dancing. I think that was like a one-man mosh pit. But yeah, that's just there's certain things, man. You just got to get down, man.
I agree. I know, man. I agree. I feel like that's where the hobby is at, man. It's about it is a new tone in the hobby. Something I said before. This hobby is lit. It's vibe. This year. I've been to Culture Collision, Collecticon, Mint, and I was supposed to be at the Union Marketplace. And I must say, man, I have given a different experience. But one thing I can say is that the hobby is turned up. It's on a whole new level compared to my first trade show that I went to like 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Compared to now, oh man, the experience is crazy, and the fact that we got more kids in it, which makes it more ridiculous, man. I plan on seeing a lot of these kids. A few names that I know, Elijah. I don't know if y'all follow Elijah. He is pretty cool. I like that kid. Um, it's a few kids, I'm gonna be honest, that I am planning on coming across and planning on creating great content with them because I'm looking forward to it at National.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Who? Go ahead, Jeremy.
I was just gonna say when your shows consist of like Burbank, Dallas, Culture Collision, and then the National, everything else seems like such a letdown. And it makes you, when you go home to your small local regional shows, it's like, come on, man, come on, we gotta elevate, we gotta make this show better.
I agree. No, you're right. A lot of these home shows. Let me see. Let me see if I can pick on one. The Georgia, I think it's called the Georgia Collectible Show that's out here in Georgia. I like that show. It was It was my first time going, but I think it's something monthly that they do. And my thing is, if you're gonna have something monthly, it got to be entertaining. You should have different vendors out a lot, not just the same people with the same cards that you're gonna see all the time, or the same flippers or the dealers that you're dealing with. I want people to be able to, when it comes to these small shows and people that are holding these small shows, give something different every time, especially if you're holding some monthly. Don't wear and tear because you just know the hobby is lit and people gonna come out. Like, give people a reason to come out every time, you know? And
Mhm.
if you set that tone, they should be able to follow you for a lifetime, man.
I like that. Who do you PC, by the way? What's your PC?
All greats. I PC greats, I PC legends. I don't PC new guys. It's just too much of a risk for me to invest. I mean, if I do get a Maxi, Tyrese Maxi, or like a Ja Morant card, hey, it's all good. I'm happy. But when it comes to the nitty gritty and what I want legends, Kobe, Derek Jeter, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Iverson. Talking football, I like Dan Marino, um, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady. I like legends. I love guys that have solidified themselves. I mean, Kurt Warner started off, and I love underdog stories. Kurt Warner started off in a grocery store, got picked up in a grocery store, working at a grocery store. You got to think about that. So, for me, them the type of guys that I like because if I don't sell, they're my PC. I'm happy
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. That's why I say collect what you love, collect what you like, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't sell, you're not coming in this thing as an investor. You're coming in as a collector. You know.
I like that.
Well said. That
Yeah.
is very well said.
Thanks, bro.
Doc, we really appreciate the time. That hour went by so incredibly fast. I
Man,
think you are going to be an incredible ambassador for the hobby. Manny is so distracted right now because he's got his auction ending right now. So I can see like we can say whatever, and
oh,
he is just
No,
he
I
is
haven't. Even,
elsewhere.
I haven't looked. I haven't looked. I'm a little nervous. So I have.
hold
I
on.
have.
Mind me asking what you auctioning off for you before I hop off. What we got?
So it's
That's
a Woody like those Kaka Wow cards, those
Yeah,
Disney Kaka Wow cards.
yeah.
Well, I bought them. Courtney and I were buying them at right when they came out for $165 a box,
Uh
and
huh.
now they're like $600 a box. But I pulled the Woody Auto, and I'm one of the first people to have them graded. So I had the Woody Auto graded. Yeah, so it's up right now. I have no idea what it is. I'm a little nervous because it was a little low, but Jeremy just made a look, so I have no idea. So it might be a good night after this is no, not a good night. So Jeremy's not a good night. So
I'm praying on it, man. When does it end? You got like a minute, or it's already over.
it ended just now. It ended just now.
and
Uh,
Jeremy went like this, so I'm a little nervous.
Well, no. So here's the thing: the guy who sells these boxes was adamant that this card would go for $4,000 to $5,000. And so when I called Manny and I'm like, hey, just so you know, that's what this guy is saying. Don't get your hopes up. I'm just sharing information, And then there was a lot of raws of these signed cards that have gone for, like 2K. And so I was excited because I was hopeful for Manny that he would eclipse that. But unfortunately, that did not happen. So
Dang it.
still, hey man, before it even started though, Manny, you would have killed to get this number. If you would have been guaranteed this number, you would have been happy.
Well, I haven't seen
So
it, so
just keep it in perspective.
yeah.
So, but Doc, I love what you're doing. I love that you're identifying other young talent that you can help build up. I love that you want to make this an experience for people that through a different lens because we've all watched the same old. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but something new and refreshing is going to be great. And the Too Thick family is very much a fan of yours and will help support in any way possible. So don't hesitate to reach out. And, we wish you nothing but health, wealth, and success, my friend.
same here. Nothing but the same on my end. Y'all pull up the national. We're gonna have a hell of a time.
Oh yeah, I love it. Well, you just can't record when we go get milkshakes, and we'll tell you the story why afterwards. So we can't record when we get milkshakes. Jeremy's rule, and we'll explain why again.
Look,
That's not my rule. That's your rule. You've already got him interviewing me and Courtney in the shower at 3 o'clock in the morning. He can fucking interview me drinking a damn milkshake. I don't care. It's game over at that point. That's after hours hobby edition.
that's why you broke the damn rules. Yeah, that's my word. My word is my bond. You ain't got to worry about nothing of that.
Where can the people follow you?
Everywhere. Instagram, Dr. Collectible. YouTube, Dr. Collectible. Facebook, Dr. Collectible. Everything is pretty much Dr. Collectible. TikTok, Dr. Collectible. I cannot change it. Twitter though, a little bit different. Doc Collectibles is Doc Collectibles. So I'm trying to get Dr. Collectible, you know what I'm saying, on that Twitter, but somebody got it and I ain't giving it up. So working on that. Hit that last so yeah.
I thought that's what he was going with Manny, when you're like, where can you follow me? And he's just like everywhere. He's like, I'm in your mom's feed. I'm in your grandpa's feed. I'm in your sister's feed. You go to dinner, I'm there. I thought he was going with the super flex, and then he brought it home nicely. But yeah, even if you're not following him, you're going to see him. So,
hey, short story. I'm gonna make it real quick.
Yeah,
that's definitely something how I built my following. I told people, I said, look, you don't follow me now, you may follow me later. Collab with people. Collab with people if you want people to see you. Find a way to collab with individuals where if they're not following you, they could be following someone else. Do some business ventures, make some things happen. But a lot of me, like you might see me collab with 10 people that week on a post or idea or whatever it is. Just imagine how many of them posts have came across so many different people that follow them. So I tell people that if you wanna get seen by somebody that's not following you, collab with the right people.
Love that. I love that. That's some good advice. Jeremy, where can the people find us? What do you want the people on YouTube to do? This is the best part. What was that? A sneeze?
You said you want me to just scream smash, man. Smash the subscribe button or whatever.
Did you hear
like, subscribe?
There you go. Like, subscribe to Thicc Fam. We appreciate you. It was a good show. Thank you, Dr. Collectible, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed your hobby release. And with that, we will talk soon. Peace.
Hey.